Allow me to introduce you to the conventional fire alarm system. I want to explain how it works and the logic behind it, and then I just do a quick dry run maybe for the evacuation part, because why are we deploying a fire alarm system? You are deploying a fire alarm system so that it can help you with such functions. So with this panel, this is a 4-zone panel. You see zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, all of them. Then let me open it up. Inside the panel, this is what I have. I have the power supply unit, I have the backup batteries, I have the main board, I have the auxiliary board. So the auxiliary board allows me to connect to USB, it allows me to connect to RS485, it allows me to link other panels to this panel. And if you look at the main board, you will see it has zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5 up to zone 8, and virtual zones on this panel because it's a 4-zone panel. The other thing, when you have this backup battery solution, you'll realize that there is a fuse here. So let me just show you that. When I unplug this from the backup battery, you must be in a position to check that this fuse actually is in good condition, because we still rely on a system that is properly protected. So let me just plug that in and screw it back so that it can serve its purpose. Then after doing that, I'll plug that in back in to the batteries. Nice. So the batteries are connected. The mains, I have this. I've connected live properly to 3. 3 red goes to live, blue goes to neutral, and then we have the earthing. Of course, make sure your system is well grounded so that we don't have excessive current shorting your board. Okay, so after this is done, let me explain the input lines. So we have 2 lines here. The first one is the one for bell 1 and bell 2. Remember, if I'm not using bell 2, I'll just close it with a resistor, and then we have zone 1. So zone 1, this is the wire, this is the correct cable. Remember, you see the type of cable I'm using is the fire alarm cable. So I'll connect this. The first detector I had was my smoke alarm detector, branded HIKVISION, of course, because we are providing you solutions from the #1 security provider. So I plug that in. You see, once it aligns, then I just slide, then it locks like that. So remember, when you do zone 1, all the detectors on that zone will just trigger the alarm. I go to this next detector, which is the heat detector. Since I've already done wiring, you'll note that wiring is parallel, red to red, black to black, and then I introduce a resistor. So let me also look for the alignment point. It's right here. So I slide it like this, then slide. So it locks like that. Then the last item on my detectors is the manual call point. So I'll get this MCP button, and let me show you the magic. HIKVISION, you see I mentioned there is a key. When an alarm is triggered, you have to reset. So for this manual call point, the key is built in here. So it's embedded in the plastic itself. So once I've plugged that in, I'll just come insert my MCP. MCP is manual call point, so don't get surprised when someone talks about it in that manner. Alright, so with my manual call point, I have the key which will be used to reset the alarms. In case an alarm is triggered, we reset it. Why is it not sliding in? Let me just open it up again. Okay, so this is the manual call point. Let me just confirm. Yeah, so there was a small mistake here, so let's correct that. So when I plug this in, you see it just clips. I push that, I reset with the key. Push, push. When you push, you hear the click. That is when the alarm is triggered. Then you can reset it. So that is that. So that is the input side. Then there is the output side, where I'll have the sounder strobe, the first item, the sounder strobe. Of course, it comes from the bell signal out. So this is the sounder strobe. Also confirm the terminations like this, and then just allow it to click like that. so it's locked in. Remember, when you're doing actual installations, means you'll first secure the bracket, and then we have this bell. Let me show you about this bell. This is how it's hooked, so I can just unclip here and here. Also, this other side, I do the same thing, unclip here and here, and then I have my system like that. So it's the bell and the termination itself. It even gives me an allowance to link to more bells and more sounder strobes, but I'll just stick with what I have for now. So once it clips in like that, then I have my complete fire alarm system. So now, what next? After I have all my detectors, so let me just put this one down so that we can see all the detectors. Let's detect if there is any pulse or anything, any signal from the panel. So remember, I'm doing two lines, one for the output, one for the input. In this case, I'm just going to do the fire alarm panel operation on its own. So I'll switch on the mains, I'll switch on the backup. Why? And then just verify that all my terminations are actually secure. So when I do that, my panel is going to power on. So let me just confirm both are on. So then I need to plug this one in to the mains first. Then let's confirm if this panel is going to power on. Yeah, so the panel is powered on and it's just doing a self check quickly. All the buttons are lighting up, meaning it's actually a functional panel. So it has a general fault, so I'll just mute. If I want to reset this, I'll press the admin control and hold on it. When I release, it powers. So that means I can now reset this panel. But now I want to reset it in admin mode. I can just push admin and buzzer mute. But right now it's running general. So let's say you want to evacuate people. I'll first log in as the first admin control point. Admin is ready, then I push admin and buzzer mute at the same time until the admin control does that. Then I'll push evacuate. Even the bell will trigger the alarm. So how do I reset that? Because I'm still in admin control, I'll just push reset and mute everything so that we don't have all that noise. But the point is, after doing that, I'll go back to admin control, push again, admin is, then I reset my panel. So that's an example of how you can operate this. There's so much you can do with this, but in today's introduction, I think that's good enough. Now the rest of the tests, we're going to do them at HIKVISION headquarters and all that. So we're going to trigger the other alarms, do the smoke test. I'll actually get the smoke tester. I'll do the manual call point triggers and see how it actually operates. I think that's good enough introduction. Thank you for staying tuned. We'll do more with the HIKVISION fire alarm control panel.